All right, thanks for joining us on the RP Experience. I'm your host, Andrew Regenhardt, and today we have one of our preferred partners, Vinny Saputo, with Naples Premiere Home Watch, and one of our top producing agents, Jeff Feldman, with Premiere Plus Realty. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're excited. So today's topic will be comedy, concierge service, and everything in between. So first, listeners want to know who we got on the podcast. So Vinny, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, good morning. Vinny Saputo, Naples Premiere Home Watch. 3 years down here in Florida. I'm married to an amazing woman who, gave me two wonderful daughters, and 9 and 6 years old. They go to school right here in Naples, and yeah, they keep me pretty busy, working hard every single day.
I love that. You both have a couple daughters, so you both are outnumbered in your household. So now you invited Jeff, obviously, on this podcast. Jeff is a top producing agent as well. Jeff, can you give the listeners just a little backstory on who you are?
Yes, thank you very much. Jeff Feldman, Premiere Plus Realty. I was thinking about that. The 4 daughters will be paying for weddings. So start saving now. Time. Oh my gosh, can empathize with each other. So anyway, I've been happily married to Stephanie for 18 years. She's a CPA, which is a perfect connection for a realtor. Yeah. I make the money and she hides it, so it's perfect. And we have 2 adorable daughters, 10 and 11. Our oldest is biological. Our oldest is actually adopted. We were foster parents, and our youngest is biological. Both amazing children. We're just ecstatic, and we're like so, involved with the children. That's like our whole life is our kids, and we just love it so much. I've lived in Naples for 20 years. I lived in Florida for 34 years, and I just absolutely love Naples. I tell everyone it's paradise, and it truly is.
Oh, it really is. I mean, you can't beat it. You really can't. So awesome. Well, Vinny, you're not from down here. Where are you from?
So New Jersey, originally.
New Jersey. And you're prior law enforcement, right?
I was. I did 10 years as a LEO, and then before that, I was a fireman EMT for 10 years as well.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And welcome to Florida. We're excited to have you down here. So
I feel safer now that Vinny's here.
I know, right? We got some protection.
Yeah, that's why he's in my back pocket.
Yeah, pun intended. He's your bodyguard. So, Vinny, how did you come down here? You said 3 years ago. How'd you get into Home Watch?
So
and talk about your concierge.
Yeah. So I came down here. I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. Knew I probably didn't want to get back into law enforcement. I wanted to get a fresh start somewhere, a new location. And sitting on the beach one day, and someone told me that you should look into Home Watch. And I knew what it was. It's a household name down here, but in New Jersey, people don't know what that is. Like they think I'm walking down the street as a block captain and I'm looking at houses. They have no clue what exactly Home Watch is. So once I started looking into it and started figuring out how I could make it an actual business, I put myself through a training program, basically that taught me how to regulate humidity, look for a water intrusion, and a lot of the signs and symptoms of irregularities that are in these houses, So then I made a business model. I started with 10 clients my first year, and quickly grew over the last 2 years, especially with COVID and people buying houses sight unseen and needing more and more services out of a Home Watch company. So really I grew to like 85 awesome. Properties in, a couple years. And the more services I offer, the more customers I get. Exactly. It's just, people need boots on the ground here. And they weren't able to get here for so many months. 6 months snowbird season kind of became almost over a year plus.
Right.
So, so I mean, it's a great job. I love what I do. Actually, absolutely passionate about, advocating for home watch industry. It's an unregulated industry, so right. Trying to be the best at what I can do every single day.
So you're not a golf cart driver, neighbor that just rolls around.
No. You know what? If you paid Vinny enough, he would drive your golf cart.
This is true.
He will do it.
It's
just not his daily driver.
For sure.
I love it. So what is explain a typical day in the life of Vinny as the home watch master?
Sure. So it's really, I live by the motto of whatever the day demands. And basically I can come to work some days and check a property, it turns into finding irregularities, such as just last week, we had a 3-story house, had a leak coming from the roof. It started coming down all the way through the common area down to the second level. And that really just opened up a can of worms, trying to mitigate that water, trying to get vendors out there right away, calling the homeowner who he lives up north as well, and trying to, coordinate our efforts basically to fix this problem. So that can go from that to driving Ferraris and Lamborghinis. It's
Wait, I got to get in a home watch now.
it's a tough job. I mean, but somebody's got to do it, and I'm happy to do it for them.
I love that. Let's switch gears for a second. Jeff, I want to chat with you. Obviously, you're a top producing agent here in town. You have a great relationship with Vinny, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. But I would love to hear a little bit more about how you got into real estate. What career were you in before, if there was a career before, and just tell us a little bit there.
All right. Yeah, thanks. So kind of a funny story. It's true, and me, Andrew, I'm authentic.
Yeah.
I just wear it on my sleeve.
Love it.
So I graduated college. I actually have a degree in gerontology.
Okay.
It's a study of aging the elderly.
Oh, okay.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Never had a clue it'd fit in with real estate, especially in Southwest Florida. So when I graduated college, I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do with myself. And my father said, you should become a mortgage broker.
Mm-hmm.
True story. I didn't know there was a T in the word mortgage.
Most people don't.
No, you're 25 years old, mortgage. There's no, I didn't know what a mortgage was.
Right.
And my dad said, you have an outgoing personality, go for it. So I started as a mortgage broker, handing out rate sheets, going out, knocking on doors, old school. There was no internet. There was no cell phones,
right.
Pagers or anything like that. So I just was old school. So I became a mortgage broker and then realized, you know what? I need to get into real estate. And the real reason I got into real estate, actually, I just was more passionate about helping people with their dreams and their memories and creating what they can do with their life as a home itself. As far as financing was fun, it was a good start, it was a good background.
Mm-hmm.
So I just in 2003 I got my license, and just kind of good time to get your license in 2005 was great. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, it was a little rough,
a little tough.
So I learned the hard way, but that's how I got into it. And my dad told me start out in mortgages, and then led me into real estate.
That's awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about how you captured the market in those hard times.
So in 2010, I remember realizing I needed to do something to stand out. So I YouTubed how to do video. And I was doing, it was called Fridays with Feldman. It was pretty crazy. I was cranking one out every week. But the one thing no one realizes, it took 3 hours to create 3 minutes of content. Because editing takes a long time. But
it does.
But there was a recession going on, and I just had to figure out a way to step out and be unique. And I was like, listen, I'm not going to just sit in the corner and cry. It's just not going to happen. It's not like me. I'm relentless. So I decided to get out there, promote myself, and so I've just done video ever since. And just being present. And I always like to tell myself, just learning from whatever happens. I've heard it said there's no such thing as failure. It's just feedback. If you just remember that, you're never going to stop. You just keep moving forward.
Yeah, no, that's good. Now, did those videos incorporate some of your passion for comedy, or how does that get brought into it?
Oh boy, did they! I've got some crazy ones. Some of the funniest ones was probably mud pack day. I put a face mask on myself. I'm like, shh, don't tell my buddies. It's our little secret. I had my face, had a mud pack on. It was National Mud. So it was a unique or wacky holiday.
Okay.
Was what I would do. I've cracked an egg over my head. I've thrown silly putty.
Okay.
Dough. I've had like 40 stuffed animals behind me. It's National Teddy Bear Day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've done the King Tut dance, like Steve Martin. I've done some crazy things.
We're gonna have to dig those out of archives and find
I want
those.
to see this.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting curious about it.
I don't know.
I love it. So back to a little bit more real estate related. What is, with this crazy market going on, are you finding more first time home buyers or really the investment guys coming down and buying property right now?
Well, having been in Naples for 20 years and selling coming up on 19, I'm actually noticing a lot more buyers coming in from different states. You never ever would have considered, like California,
Right, I heard
Colorado, Iowa, you name the states, and it just never happened. You never say, hey, I have a buyer coming in from California, really? Are you joking?
Right.
Like, come on. Never happens.
I know.
So I'm actually helping a lot more customers that are relocating here full time. It's amazing how it's like a melting pot in a way. They're all coming here from all over the country.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's not investment for them. It's their actual personal home, right? But they're
lot.
just trying to get out of some craziness in another area and come to the state that ran, I think, pretty well, right? So
Yeah,
I think
land
we're
of
all pretty
opportunity here.
100%. Now, now you guys have a great relationship. I want to dive into a little bit more home watch related and get your take on it as well, Jeff. But first of all, Vinny, I gotta ask, what's the craziest concierge request you've ever received?
I knew you were going to ask. So it's really like I joke around a lot about, you pay me to do something, I'll do it. So that's usually how.
What is it
works.
like? As long as it's ethical, morally.
A moral,
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
Illegal, moral, and ethical.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll help you out. And basically, you name it, I've done it. And it goes from taking bikes to get service to cars for service. We do a lot of car services daily. But, people want you to do anything in their daily. Like, I'm going out of town and can you watch my dog for 4 days? Like, I don't think I've ever said I was a pet sitter, but, I'll do it.
Just the right price. He's the most expensive pet sitter.
Exactly.
He'll do it.
Exactly. He's going to charge you hourly. But yeah, it's just it's really whatever they need. I'm here full on concierge services, like what we deal with the most, and we make probably that's the biggest part of our business, honestly.
What is something an outsider would not know about your industry? I mean, obviously we've kind of talked about home watch being, from people outside of Florida not understand that people
Sure.
live in their house the whole time,
Yeah.
right? But like, what are some people even locally in Florida might not know about home watch?
So I think that something that goes overlooked a lot is that 50% of the insurance policies here in Florida, homeowners have some type of word in there. Any seen or unseen damage not reported within 14 days, they could forfeit the right to a claim. So because of that, I have a job because of that wording. You need to have somebody reputable that watches your house and that you can detail every single report from the time you're on location to the time you leave. And you could have a track on a duration of how many times you're watching that house while that house is not occupied. And that's key. And there's just so many horror stories as to people are taking advantage of homeowners and they're, doing jobs and they're not doing jobs specifically, filling out paper forms, leaving them on the counter, and people come home like a week early, which, that happens a lot in our business. People just come and go. And they find out that this is filled out for like next week. Like, where are you? Have you ever watched our house at all? So communication with the clients is at most the most important thing we do.
Sounds like trustworthy and honest as well.
For sure.
Sounds like
for
there's
sure. You need to be reputable. And
maybe a little shady stuff going on, huh?
A lot of shady stuff, for sure.
What is a career highlight you're most proud of? And this is for both of you.
I'd say most recently we became the #1 home watch company in Naples from the Naples Daily News. I think that's
huge.
A highlight for sure. Being in a short amount of time, being how many home watch companies are here in Naples that have that be recognized on that level says a lot. And I think it really just comes down to surrounding yourself by the right people, saying you're going to do something, you actually do it, and great customer service.
That's awesome. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, my highlight is just the fact that Vinny invited me here today. That's my highlight. No, seriously though, it really has to be. So a year ago, a gentleman lost his job, and he was one of my customers, and he got into real estate. And he chose 3 companies, and he actually chose Premiere Plus. I didn't lead him, but my career highlight is having overflow of business to give to him.
That's awesome.
So I'm basically leveraging myself to make extra money. He's doing all the work and doing a great job. So that's probably been a highlight for me, to get to the point of an overflow of business to pass off.
That's really cool. Hey, Jeff, what is one word you describe the current market today?
Wow, that's a good question. I just have to say it's probably exciting. Is the word I can think of.
It's pretty good.
Patience was #2, but exciting is #1. Exciting.
How do you both pick yourself up after making a mistake?
Well, mistakes happen. I mean, especially as you hire employees, nobody can actually duplicate you.
Mm-hmm.
So, doing the right thing, I think, is the most important. That, mistakes are going to happen. It's how you handle them when they happen, and doing the right thing for the client and taking ownership of those mistakes. Because, everybody's human. We all make mistakes, and as long as they recognize that, we usually get through it 100%, like with no problems. It's just a matter of doing the right thing every single time.
To add to that, it's exactly what I was going to say as well. To add to that is probably realizing that if you've made a mistake, or we do make mistakes, is that you say to yourself, I've done it before and I can do it again. I love that song by Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And that's the key. Just remind yourself you get up again. You keep getting up.
Every single day.
Yeah.
So how do you keep yourself motivated?
I would say building a better lifestyle for myself and my family. I think that keeps me hungry to work every single day, continuing to build an empire. I always joke about, I'm building an empire down here, and I'm a name that's becoming a household name as far as the company itself. And, just like I said, surrounding yourself by the right people. Success leaves clues. And that's something I believed from the very beginning. And having great people like Jeff in my life that, continue to believe in me. They know I'm going to do the right thing for their clients. And that's what I go off of every day.
I love that.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. Having the right people, they say your vibe attracts your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So having the right tribe
It's
around,
like
having the
that.
right vibe, and having friends that can be honest with you and give you feedback and help you to grow. But for me, also, it's as you heard, your why, and it's my children. It keeps me motivated all the time, especially in the tougher times. I remind myself, you know what, these are the kids, and they deserve the best. And in this world with some uncertainty as well, I need to give them the best that they can. And I think a lot of it has to do with your upbringing as well. You want to kind of redo things and do things right. Do things differently than what happened to you when you were a child. And it's that's what motivates me, saying, you know what, I'm going to do this for our children. And that's really what keeps me going. Just the kids.
Exactly.
If you guys were kids and you were about to do your life all over again, would you do the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. I learned a lot along the way. A lot of jobs growing up, just having that hustle mentality. It was instilled in me early. But, I tell my kids all the time, you live in Naples, Florida. This is a beautiful place to live. It's kind of an anomaly that it's so beautiful, and the things that we see on a daily basis, it's not the normal world that's out there. So I keep them very grounded. I make them work for everything they get, and basically I think that's the key, honestly.
So Vinny doesn't know this, but I actually wanted to be a police officer. That's what I was set to do, and I was ready to do. The reason I chose to go a different direction was, this is a true story. You don't know this. Is I didn't want to be in the car driving all the time. That's a true story. That's right. You don't know this.
Look what he's doing now.
Oh my gosh! Right?
For sure.
Uber driver, realtor Jeff.
Oh
Oh my gosh! So I don't know. I guess I would say that I was chosen to be in this position. A lot of my life has been coincidences. So I just feel like I am where I'm supposed to be, and I've changed a lot of lives and helped a lot of people. So I guess this is where I am, and this is where I'll be.
Yeah.
Who knows how long?
Yeah, for sure. Full circle. Everything in life gives you experiences to get to the next phase, and I think that was the perfect opportunity how I came down here. Started taking care of homes up in New Jersey. It led me into exotic car collections, started taking care of vehicles, and those skills just kind of gave me a little bit of a niche down here, where I was an avenue to kind of build more business right through the car population community.
It's awesome. All right, you both have little girls, right?
Sure.
I want you to describe, with your youngest, how they would describe what Daddy does for work.
That's a good question.
You got it? Okay, good.
Go, you first.
All right. So real quick, our youngest is an equestrian, so she's unique.
Okay.
She rides a horse 5 days a week.
Yeah.
She competes. So
Wow.
She's about 65 pounds. She's kind of built like me, and she's an animal. The kid is just crazy. Loves to gallop. So she's just a unique child for sure. She doesn't understand. She's mad at me. She literally says, "Dad, I'm really mad at you because Mommy goes to work and she gets paid, and you can work all day and you don't get paid." She goes, I'm really mad at you, literally mad at you because you chose what you do for a living. And I tell her, I go, honey, listen, one day when you're older, it'll all make sense. You know, when you realize, like, you know, how I'm doing and what I'm doing for you guys, it'll all make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't realize what I do. She just thinks I drive around, look at houses, talk on the phone a lot.
Yeah.
She, you know,
Well, that is what you do.
it's pretty
right?
much what I do. We just goof off a lot. Yeah.
What about you, Vinny?
Similar, very similar. You know, when I was a police officer, they used to think I was a superhero for sure. I mean, they loved seeing me go to work. I mean, wearing the uniform. But down here, it was really a change in role. Like the fact that I was home a lot more, which is the reason why I wanted to be self-employed in the first place, to spend more time with them, being that all the beginning of their life, I was so busy just trying to make a life for us up there. But down here, it gives me the opportunity to kind of spend weekends with them. I get them off the bus. It allows me to get back to the house at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon to see them get off. So my youngest is 6. I mean, she just, you know, she loves daddy. You know, I have 2 daddy's girls for sure, Italian princesses, right?
That's awesome.
And they enjoy spending time, and it's such a role reversal. Like my wife was that person in New Jersey, but here I very much kind of fell into that role, and it's the greatest thing ever for sure to see them every single day, to know I'm going to be home every single night to sleep there, and you know, if they have a problem, I'm able to get to them right away. So I would say that's the biggest thing down here for me.
That's cool.
And that's what connects us too, Andrew, is that, you know, father, 2 daughters, passionate, care about them, similar in age. It's a good bond of dads with especially 2 younger daughters. Because daughters and sons, we have no sons, but you know, daddy daughters are really unique. Yeah, really special.
They say a daughter's gonna, you know, they take care of their fathers, right? So I'll never end up in a nursing home. I think that's the goal. That's
awesome. I love it. All right, I want to switch gears for a second. You guys both obviously run successful businesses, obviously as real estate at Home Watch. What would be some advice for new realtors and or concierge individuals, and probably what is the biggest pet peeve of your job that you'd want to tell a newcomer that's coming into the industry?
You or me?
You go first.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So a newcomer coming into real estate, you know, number one is to follow up. Follow up. It's so important. I feel like when you go to an event, you network or anywhere, it's really not about giving out your business card. It's really getting business cards and then staying in touch. So I'd say a newer realtor, no matter the age, write notes. Write a handwritten note consistently. Write at least 2 a day. Even if you're at the BMW dealership, you write a note to your service person, put a card in there. You just never know, your hairstylist, you know, whatever. But I'd say handwritten notes are probably the most overlooked thing right now. Writing a personal note, because right now it's so much tech, you know, text. You know, no one wants to talk, they just want to text. So handwritten notes. I'd also say that just reading is really important. I would say reading, you know, books about promote your personal growth. There's several people out there written great books. Listen to podcasts like RP producers like this great podcast as well. Listen to this. Sure. But truthfully, you want to listen to the folks that have been there and done that because we've already made a lot of the mistakes. And if you listen to us and watch what we do, you can overcome and shorten that learning curve a little bit. What was the second question, Andrew?
Like biggest pet peeve.
Oh God. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's easy. So definitely, it's drama and ego. Always been my issue with real estate. Is anyone dealing with drama and ego? And I'm like, listen, let's stick to the facts. Let's stick to the contract. Notice we're working, you know, with our customers, and we're trying to work together. I mean, we're 2 realtors really trying to do the same thing,
right?
Just like opposite sides of the ring, but
so you both get paid at the end of the day. You guys got to work together. It's a very interesting industry.
Yeah, so I'd say that's my advice. Is that, you know, for ego and drama, just to realize that we're really trying to work together. Sometimes we just don't put a deal together. Sometimes we have a disagreement, but we have to go by what's in writing and support our customers and just do the right thing. And ultimately, it'll all work out. But there's no reason to be at each other because that happens. That's my pet peeve. Realtors think they can push me under their thumb. Like, you know, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, right.
You can try, but
I know
it's not going to happen.
I know.
What do you got, Vinny?
I'd say surround yourself by great people, right? I think, you know, building relationships is huge. Having the right person for every single thing that you deal with in the field. You know, I've made a preferred vendor directory over the last 3 years of, HVAC people, electricians, plumbers. I mean, we use these people in the trades every single day. So having a great support system, should you find a problem in these properties, which happens very frequently, and having the right person to fix that job, do the right thing for the client every single time. I'd say pet peeve is in my industry is people getting paid to do nothing, that they actually basically are taking money from people and not doing the job they're getting paid to do. I think that's the number one thing that I really have an issue with, for sure. I mean, being trustworthy. We're in people's houses, we're in intrusive spaces that people don't get to see on a daily basis, that, they're paying us to do this job and they're expecting us to complete these tasks. And having the right person to do those tasks and trust them is really key, I think.
Yeah. Good, Andrew. Sorry, I want to add 2 more short things. Number 1 is remember to not communicate with people, but connect. Connect with them is critical, not just communicate. And for newer realtors, the other thing I was going to mention is Facebook is such a big deal right now. And I would say if you're newer, go on Facebook, look for your friends, and look for pain or pleasure. Something bad happened, write them a note. Sorry about this. I mean, you won't be surprised how influential it is when you let someone know, hey, I'm sorry this happened, and you send them a note. Of course, don't include a business card in that one.
Yeah.
But if something good happens, if they get a puppy or they get a promotion or whatever it might be, they're happy about something, then write them a note, congratulations, and then do include one of your business cards in that. But those are unique things that I don't think most realtors do. Scan Facebook and look for pain or pleasure, and then highlight that with a handwritten note.
Wow, that's very powerful. I think I could do a much better job at that. And I'm definitely going to be working on my handwriting now. It's chicken scratch. So if anyone out there gets a card from me, you might not be able to understand it, but I'll decipher it for you. So. Well, guys, we are wrapping up here and running out of time already. Love that we could keep talking for a while, but we do end these podcasts with a little speed round. These are some random generated would you rather questions, and you guys have never seen them. So first, start out a little bit odd and strange here. We're gonna go as would you rather be covered in fur or covered in scales?
Fur.
Scales.
I don't know what I would do. I think I'd do fur to keep warm, but then it'd be too hot. I don't know. Scales down here, I guess, right?
For sure, I want to swim.
Yeah. What about would you rather be in jail for a year or you lose a year off your life?
Ooh.
Jail for a year.
Yeah, jail for a year.
I would lose a year off my life. I would not be able to deal with jail. I think I would afterwards just be like it would just mess with me. A year just sitting there, I would be like, I feel like my brain would go mush, right?
Yeah.
If you're not using it active, I don't know. That's just me. What about this? This is interesting. I know what I'd pick. Would you rather spend the rest of your life in a sailboat as your home or an RV as your home?
Sailboat, easy one for me.
RV.
Yeah, I would do sailboat. But RV is beautiful. I mean, I love going to the mountains and, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I love the water.
Yeah, I have to be on or around the water all times.
I have to be transparent. So the scales part, I'm allergic to fish.
Yes.
So no scales and I couldn't eat.
That's true. Yeah, you're going to stick to RV life. We'll get you some meat, all right?
Yes.
I love it. Would you rather move to a new city or town every week or never be able to leave the city or town that you were born in?
New city every week.
Every week? Yeah, that would be tough. But it would be so cool to experience
See so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A new city every week.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Would you rather trade bodies with your spouse or your child for a day?
Child.
Yeah.
Just to think like what it would be like to be
just to see the world in a different way, just to be that pure.
It'd be so cool. All right, this one, hopefully your partners are not listening. Would you rather forget your partner's birthday or your anniversary every year?
Anniversary.
Anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, birthday's more special to them.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Sure,
If you forgot birthday, like
it's a big deal.
you're in trouble, right?
Yeah. If he wasn't born, there wouldn't be an anniversary.
Exactly. Hey, that's a good one.
That's good.
All right, last one. Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to write?
Read.
Yeah. No, right.
Right?
I'll say right.
All right. You can write for me and I'll read for you?
Yes.
All right,
There
good.
you go.
Stick
Yang.
together.
There we go.
I definitely do right, because as long as I can read and understand it, I can have someone write.
Exactly. Exactly.
The tough one.
That's one. Read it to me.
Hey, there you go. All right, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. As always, Southwest Florida Real Producers, extremely thrilled to have you on here. And obviously, we'll link in the bio where everyone can connect with you, both Jeff and Vinny, as well as social media platforms. We'll be tagging you and websites there. So we're pumped to bring Real Producers on air. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and stay tuned for the next episode.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you guys. Have a blessed day.
Great day.
See ya.